Welcome, Pathfinders, back to the Find the Path podcast. I am once again your host and Gamemaster, Rick Sandidge. I am joined by my players. We want a quick round table again. I swear we're probably going to stop this soon.
I'm Jessica Peters, playing Sagira, the Ranger, not the Rogue.
The Ranger Rogue.
I'm Jordan, playing Sudi Kontar.
I am Rachel, and I'm playing Sitra, who is the Rogue.
I'm Heather Allen, and I'm playing Onuris, who is a cleric.
I'm a monk also. Sudi is a monk.
Sudi is a monk, yes. I mean, there's only one other male voice in this podcast, but hopefully they'll eventually be able to tell us about it. Yes. I see.
Sorry.
So we are continuing the Mummy's Mask adventure path. We are still in Book 1, The Half-Dead City by Jim Groves. If you want more information on the adventure paths, you can check that out at paizo.com. But when last we left our heroes, they had been delving into the Tomb of Akhentepi. They had descended into its depths, battling against a surprise scorpion attack and rolling large rocks out of their way and climbing down holes in the general adventuring fun that entails, before making their way and beginning to actually loot the tomb, which is the whole goal of what they're down here doing. Respectfully.
Recovering artifacts.
It belongs to the museum.
Yes.
I got a cool sword.
You got a cool sword. You did. In fact, you got into a room, you found a cool sword, you picked up said cool sword, and in the meantime, I believe our resident catfolk is Sudi. So many S names. Still throwing me. Sudi had noticed that a small number of the figures on the diorama laid on the table seemed to have shifted while he wasn't looking. And as he turned back, the 6-inch tall warriors dramatically leaped to the attack. It's kind of like Toy Soldier, but more deadly.
I don't know.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
Oh, man, no, they were pretty deadly. They're setting up like fireworks and stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, grabbing power tools.
Power tools and killing people. That
Surrender
whole thing.
the Gorgon scum.
Yep.
Am I the only one that has not seen this movie?
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh,
no, it's
what?
so good. You need to see it.
Go see it, it's wonderful. It has Devin
Go
Sawa.
see it?
Yeah. Go
Yeah,
see
in
it. Go
your
see it in
life.
theaters.
I think it's on Netflix.
I don't know. It was last time.
Yeah. It's not as bad as not seeing like Jurassic Park or something.
I mean,
But
yeah.
No, that one was a multiple theater viewing.
yeah, that was a must-see. Anyone who has not seen that is missing out on their life. Regardless, though, let's kick in some music. We're once again using Sirenscape for anyone that is interested. They are not a sponsor, but we love them. Regardless, though, as we cut back to our party, I believe Sudi had enough time to let out a shout, backpedaling away, as the 3 figures would launch themselves to the attack, and I will need initiative from the party.
That is a great first roll.
Ow, I was so close to being a good roll now.
Much better
Terrible.
today. Much better.
So it sounds like we had a couple of good initiatives out there. Let's start on my left here.
I had a 19 for Sagira.
Sagira gets a 19. Sudi.
Has a 6.
Sudi gets a 6. Citra.
Citra's rocking at 22.
Sitra is coming in with a 22. On yours?
Onuris has a 5.
It's a
Woohoo.
5.
Well, okay.
Alright, combat breaks out. Sudi is the only one immediately aware of the tiny little figures leaping to the attack, and so you'll get to act in the surprise attack round and act first.
Wow. Wow. Okay, then.
Yeah, they're coming in low.
Okay, I'm going to punch him in the face. Well, punch the closest one. There's 2. I'm going to do the one right in front of me.
He's a tiny little wooden doll.
Have at ye tiny little doll possessed by some demon. 16.
A 16 will strike your target.
Yes! Alright. Hit them for 4 points of damage.
You would viciously punch into it to no effect.
You would lightly
Uh-oh.
tap it.
Uh-oh.
You just kind of knock it over.
I'm batting at it like
Yeah.
I'm playing like a cat.
You're just trying to knock it off of the edge of the shelf. From there we go to the tiny little figures. The first one will leap into your square, provoking an attack of opportunity from you as it closes.
See if I can actually do something with that. I get a 7.
A 7 will not strike your target as it leaps entering into your square. The other 2 go running past you. Do you have combat reflexes?
I wish. No.
The other 2 go running past you, and both of them dive at Sagira, who stands there oblivious, still kind of like hefting her Kopesh.
Nice.
So from there we go to round 1 of combat. Sitra, you would spin around, seeing tiny little 6-inch toy dolls with tiny little spears launching themselves through the air as Sudi shouts and begins punching and kicking wildly at them. They seem to be focused on Sagira right now.
Yeah, I guess I'll 5-foot step towards Sagira. Oh, well, I don't think I can around the table.
Not around the table.
Okay, so I will move the 10 feet to get around the table.
Very well. You go rushing towards them.
And then, I guess I'll slash at it with my kukri.
Very well. So you close on them, drawing your kukri as you close.
Oh, but my base attack is on 0, so I can't do that as
I believe you had your weapon away while you were searching through all the
so
shields.
I draw my weapon, and then I wait to attack in the next 6 seconds.
Very well. You're getting there. You're training. Sagira. You're hefting the kopesh that you were already holding and just stole that apparently angered them. As you would turn around and see 2 tiny little dolls begin stabbing up at you with their little spears.
I will notice them, and then I will kill them with their master sword.
Very well. Oh.
Maybe I will kill them with their master sword. I get a 16.
16 will not strike as your blade would spark off against the floor.
I don't kill them with their master sword.
Keep hearing Master Sword, and I'm like, you're not Link.
I'm not Link.
I shoot rays at them. I'm at full health. So you can take a 5-foot step or move action if you'd like to do either.
Oh yeah, I guess I do want to take a 5-foot step out of this square.
And there we go to Sudi. Closed on you.
Yes, they have. I will flurry of blows.
You begin to punch and kick and claw.
19.
A 19 will solidly plant your foot on one.
6 points of damage.
6 points of damage, fracturing it slightly.
And a 20.
A 20 will also strike your target.
For 7 points of damage.
As you would slam down onto it again, surprised as it would just spring back up and continue to rush towards you.
Well, that's bad. I'm going to take a 5-foot step away.
The party closes ranks.
Into lightning bolt formation.
The tiny figures re-enter the initiative. All 3 of them will step forward, provoking attacks of opportunity from Sitra, Sagira, and Sudi.
Sagira gets a 19.
19 will hit.
Sudi gets an 8, which is a miss.
I get an 11.
Nope.
I do 6 points of damage to the one that entered Sagira's square.
So Sagira chops down, managing to slice into this one. It would bounce back before immediately springing back to the attack, rushing at you with mindless determination. They'll rush into your squares and begin to stab at all of you. So we'll just make our way around. So we'll start with Sitra. Jeez. 20 and a 19.
Yeah, both of those will hit.
Both of those will hit as they viciously stab into you, striking you for 1 point of damage with each stab. So 2 points of damage as you get little splinters rammed into your ankle over and over again.
They're so vicious.
They're so vicious. It's like the amount of damage a cat can do. The next one's going at Sagira with a 19 and a 10.
Yes and no.
Yes and no. This one managed to jam you for 2 points of damage, though. Bringing us around to the third one, stabbing at Sudi. I would like to say that it screeches out a little attack, but it's mindless. So 13 and 7.
It could be programmed to do
No,
that.
to both.
No.
Too wily.
Too wily. Fur's too thick. You have too much rope. On
I
yours.
knew it would come in handy.
Onuris will draw his kopesh and then stab at the one that's on Sitra. With a 10.
A 10 will not strike your target, as I suppose you're trying to swing a massive kopesh around your friend to strike a tiny little 6-inch tall figure.
It's a very odd situation.
You have not yet experienced this in your years of wandering in the desert or filing books in libraries. From Onuris, we go back around to the top of the initiative, Sitra.
Now that I actually have my kukri out, I would like to try and attack it.
Try your best to kukri it.
Yep.
Which one are you attacking? Are you attacking the one in your square, or do you want to attack
Yeah.
the one that's flanked in the center square?
Oh, I'll probably go with the flanked one. Because that means I get my sneak attack, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I will go for that one. And I get a 20 to hit it.
A 20 will solidly strike your target as you heft your kukri and stab down.
For 8 points of damage.
Viciously cutting into him, he is still moving. Again, it's kind of chopping wooden blocks at this point, so it's... You're powering your way through. As a side
I need
note...
to sharpen my kukri.
Yes. You need to make an adamantine kukri. Anyone that wants to on their turn can make a knowledge arcana, but I don't think that that's this group.
I don't have that.
No.
Next
I
level.
found your weakness.
Next level, somebody takes that.
Next level. So from Sitra, we go to Sagira.
I'm going to take a 5-foot step out of my square, forward, and then I'm going to turn around and slash at the doll in Citra square. I'm going to two-handed attack, since the first one didn't do enough damage to kill it. But I'm only going to roll an 11, so...
An 11 will not hit. There are tiny little things running back and forth between all of your legs, so
Also, I'm rolling 5s.
Sitra applauds your effort.
I was trying to give you a justification for it, but alright.
I don't have
Also, I'm rolling terribly.
it. Mostly I'm rolling terribly.
So Sagira takes a 5-foot step and curses the gods. Sudi.
Well, punching them isn't really seeming to work, so I'm going to take a 5-foot step up next to Sagira, draw my dagger, and try the dagger.
So you take a 5-foot step, you pull your dagger.
Jeez, that's like the third 4 this day. So I'm going to get a 7.
A 7 will not hit. You wasted all of your luck on initiatives.
Aren't we the full base attack bonus classes?
Why, yes, we are. We're also first level, so there's that.
You stepped out of the
There is
flank.
that.
I can hop onto the table.
So those 2 warrior figures are going to... You know what? They're both going to dive to the attack against Sagira, provoking an attack from Sagira.
Hey, I don't have combat reflexes though, unfortunately. Okay, maybe I hit one this time with my strength is down by 1 with a 21.
21 will strike your target.
Well, good. For 7 points of damage, minimum damage.
7 points of damage will still kill the first one as it enters your square.
Well, good.
Square, sending fragments of it scattered across the floor.
Watch out for splinters,
A
guys.
little clutter. The other one, though, does enter your square and gets to attack you. We're looking at a 12 and an 8.
Nope.
Nope, neither of those. It glances off your armor. You've been hopping back and forth from foot to foot. The last one's still in the square there with Sitra. Full out attacks. God, I really don't like Sitra. That'd be a 20
God, yeah.
and a perfect 20, which will automatically hit threat.
And you didn't even take the sword.
This is like death of 1,000 cuts
17.
right here. Yeah.
Confirmed critical hit.
Uh-oh.
Their
They're going to
first
do
big thing.
10 points of damage.
Critical splintering.
So 2 points of damage from the non-critical, and 4 points of damage from the critical as it rams into your ankle.
I have 2 hit points, guys.
Hey, but you're next to the cleric, so everything's okay.
You're going to be fine.
That is the best place to be in
They hit a
Pathfinder.
friggin'
within
artery.
5-foot reach of the cleric.
They're cutting my Achilles tendon. Please help.
From the figures we go to Onuris.
Alrighty. It's in her square. Is it going to provoke if I cast?
It does not threaten.
Okay, so I will cast a Cure Light Wounds.
Much obliged.
For a little education for our listeners out there, these are tiny-sized creatures, approximately like, cats are tiny-sized creatures, and as such, they have to enter into a target square, meaning that they provoke an attack of opportunity while they move into attack, and they don't actually have a threatened reach, which means that they can only threaten something in the square that they are also occupying. So our cleric can spellcast perfectly fine next to him, but if it jumps into a square and he can't move, well, then he's in trouble.
Onuris would reach out and touch Citra's shoulder. You get 6 hit points back.
Oh, thank
Reach
goodness.
out and touch face.
You still have move action if you'd like to take it, but
I think I'm good where I am.
you're holding your ground. Bringing us back to the now healed Sitra. Your wounds would close back over, filled with the holy power of Horus, I believe?
Horus.
I'm going to 5-foot step forward and attack the flanked one that's on top of Sagira.
Very well. Jump forward. Sagira hops from foot to foot as you stab down.
Aw, yay. That would be a 19 and plus 2 for flanked, so 25.
25 will most definitely hit the
Which
tiny
is a
target.
I think
threat.
you're mad.
That is a threat.
These
Roll to
can-
confirm.
Okay, I was going to say these can be... same thing. So my sneak attack does not double.
No.
Okay.
Your regular damage will double, your sneak attack will not.
Okay, so 9 points of damage.
That will solidly strike and kill the thing as you would somehow find the vulnerable point between its tiny little head and its tiny little shoulders and pop its tiny little head off.
You can
That
make
would
it a
seem to
keychain.
stop it.
Little did you know that Sitra had time building toys in the past. and
You are
knows-
doll maker. That is your profession.
Dude, profession doll maker.
That would be so creepy. I'm sorry.
We go to Citra's place eventually. Just dolls.
It's just nothing.
No.
It's just
No.
nothing but porcelain dolls staring at you
Oh,
from the
God.
walls.
That'd
This
be the
one's name
worst.
is Annabelle.
Yeah.
Like, who collects creepy dolls like that? That is not okay.
And you know where I'm going to put them as an adult? Next
In the
to my
room-
baby.
Yes, next to the baby. And I don't know who designed the Annabelle doll, because I know that's not what the actual Annabelle doll looks like, but that is just creepy face in general. Who buys that?
Creepers. All right.
From Sitra, we go to Sagira.
Sagira's going to attack the one that's left. There's only one. That's fun. A 20.
A 20 will hit the tiny little animated figure.
And then she will smash it. I guess slash at it, not smash it.
Chop
8
down.
points of damage.
Viciously chopping into it. It's still going.
Oh, this one hasn't been hit yet.
This one has not been hit yet.
Okay.
It's still going. You have a move action remaining if you'd like to take it. And hold your ground.
Yeah.
All right. Everyone's kind of... It's a pretty small room considering like the table occupies a lot of it. Unless you want to hop up on the diorama and possibly anger all of the rest of the tiny little soldiers on there.
Let's not do that.
What brings them to life?
Yeah. It's a tiny warrior doll swarm. Sudi.
I'm going to take a 5-foot step into the flank with Onuris. And
Does Onuris have a weapon out?
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
and then I'm going to hit it with my dagger. I need all the bonuses I can get.
Hey, you guys are coming together as a team now.
Oh, Lord.
Flanking and-
I roll a nat 1. I roll a nat 1 and do nothing.
Yes, as you spring forward and go, we're coming together as a team, guys! And then you just like...
Fall over.
Yeah.
Trip on your own little cattail.
Yeah.
The rope.
You can't
Oh,
hold yourself
true.
up in your rope.
Oh, we
the
took the
terrible
rope
rope.
Oh, the cattail would be even funnier.
We
than
used your
I'm
rope.
We
chasing.
actually
Oh, that's
use
right,
the rope.
actually. You don't have any...
You feel naked without your rope.
Yeah. Without all the weight of your rope, you're entirely off balance now. From Sudi, we go to our single remaining figure. It's a target-rich environment there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
You know it. He's going to go against the Defiler. He launches himself into Sagira Square, provoking an attack
You are
of
the
opportunity.
defiler.
From all of us, right? Or just
No.
her?
Just one.
I will smack him with a 21.
A 21 will hit your target, though.
And I will do 9 points of damage.
You would scatter him into pieces flung across the room as you chop down into him.
That's a nice weapon. It's very good.
Well, that was interesting.
I feel a little bit bad for these things.
They're just doing what they're told.
I'm going to look at the rest of them on the table. If we, poke them, do they...
They fall over.
I will
Cool.
re-stand them after you poke them to fall over. I'm going to pick the ones up off the ground and I'm going to put them back on there.
Okay.
No, I can't put them back together, obviously. I don't
You
have
just
any
put, like, the
super
two little
glue.
legs that are
Professional
like...
doll maker.
I just put them back. Well, again, we're trying to be respectful.
Hey, they attacked us. It was self-defense.
Took the coat.
We were told to take things.
You return the tiny little heroes up to the walls and their battlements in the tiny diorama city.
You have served your master well.
Return of me or the dolls?
The dolls. Unless you're somehow under control of the Akhentepi guy.
No.
There were... What else was there in
Not
this
yet.
room?
A bunch of stuff.
No,
I was looking at a chest.
There was like
I
a
remember.
shield and there were some sword thingies and...
looking about the room, again, you guys have, in one of your cases, already pocketed the Kopesh.
Mine.
There is also a fine spear that you'd found that is also masterwork.
Yeah, the
and
masterwork spear I have on mine.
I was going to say, and that's been nabbed.
There's the composite shortbow, which needs to be restringed,
I
but
think
it is
that's
fine.
mine also.
Yeah, it is.
I'm taking all of this guy's stuff. It's real
Oh,
nice.
The weapons.
The scarab-shaped steel shield, which you have not been able to identify. Other than that, there are 2 other shields here.
I guess we'll take them and we can identify that shield later.
Those are the, if I remember right, one of them is Osiriani or
Yes.
something, and the other one we don't know.
One of them is Osiriani. It has the same symbol that the tiny little figures shields also have. The other one appears to not be Osiriani. There are a number of chests here, though. They're all in good craftsmanship. They're less ornate than the one that you found in the previous room. Glancing over these, none of these chests are locked or trapped. Each has been sealed with wax.
Oh, that's right. We
Oh.
opened one.
Cracking open the first one,
I check it for traps first.
you can make a perception roll if you wish.
Of course. 7.
7?
Let's
Wait,
clear.
wait. I'm checking for traps.
8? No, it looks great. You've never felt safer.
I crack it open.
Cracking it open, there would be a hiss of air. But after that, it seems to be a chest.
Cool. What's in it?
Checking inside, you would find 100 gold pieces and 42 silver pieces.
Nice.
Nice.
Scoop them into the bag.
And how many other chests were there? Weren't there a couple?
Yes.
Okay, I want the next one for traps.
Very well.
That's a little better. I get a 20 on that one.
With a 20, opening up the other chests, as they are not trapped, there are, searching through the rest of these, there are several scroll tubes. Opening these and glancing inside, they are brittle, but they are not disintegrating in your hands as you'd find a number of papyrus records. Anyone who can read Ancient Osiriani, which I guess you would all hand it over to Onuris.
Yep.
This seems boring.
It's not boring. It's history.
It's not gold. It's not a weapon.
it can still be interesting. What does it say?
What does it say?
Looking these over, these appear to hold private memos, expense ledgers, you're going to guess records of his most famous speeches, and a number of private correspondences. As you would dig through these, though, you would find some of the last entries seem to be a discussion regarding the unfinished tomb of Akhentepi's mistress, the woman that he was seeing after his the tragedy that befell the rest of his family. There seems to be that he'd paid to actually add on to his tomb to bury her here. Although, from what you can determine from this, you're going to guess that that wing was never completed. Anyone that wishes to make me an appraise check.
I will appraise. I will kind of appraise with a 10.
I get an 11.
I got a 10.
Yeah, no.
You have no idea how much this would be worth. It would probably be worth something to somebody.
I will
But-
keep it.
Lastly, there is a clay urn. It is also sealed with wax.
But does it look like a...
Canoptic jar?
No, it looks to be just a regular clay urn, probably filled with maybe grain for use in the afterlife. You're not entirely positive.
Okay, well then I'll
open
open that. That's fine.
Or maybe wine that would have been taken with them into
No.
the next life.
Do the seals actually have anything on it to, like, say what it is?
No, they're just
Okay.
plain seals.
I will open this urn.
Cracking this open, the room would fill with a fine scent.
Oh, wonderful.
Glancing inside, it seems to be filled with some sort of oily fluid. Anyone that wishes to may make me an appraise, or I'll allow a craft alchemy.
God. 8.
20.
Not worth saying.
Yeah, no, not worth saying. Mm-mm.
Sudi, I suppose, going over there and sniffing with your cat nose. You believe that this probably contains nard? It's an expensive oily perfume.
Did anybody hear Narf?
Narf.
Nard. Nard.
Nard.
I'm glad I didn't drink this.
So how much would that be worth?
That'd be worth about 75 gold.
Sweet.
Put the lid back on.
Sudi makes the joke.
Put some perfume on. Put the lid back on.
A little perfume on, you know.
And there aren't any other exits from this room, right?
No, this appears to be a dead end. The only other way that you have to go would be heading back to the initial chamber you entered into with the wall scroll, and then going south or left from when you'd originally come in.
Oh, right, because there was another set of stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's 2 sets of stairs, and we went down this one because of the smell.
The sound.
The sound or the lack of sound?
There was
Sound, sorry.
What you think now might have been these tiny little figurines marching
Hang out.
around.
Hanging out. Playing poker.
I suppose we return to the room with the tapestry.
Well, you can re-enter the room. The tapestry still sits off to the side.
Down
the
the
sad
stairs.
visions of all of Akhentepi's family looking out at you.
Guess we'll head down the stairs.
Opening the other door and descending down the stairs.
Is it trapped?
Wait, did we check the other room for any secret doors or anything?
We did
You have not checked for any secret doors yet.
Let's check this and then we'll check everything for secret doors.
Okay. Because, I mean, if the mistress's tomb was supposed to be added on here, maybe they just didn't log it, but it might have been.
Or it just wasn't finished, but it was started?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
So you're descending down the stairs on this side?
We
making your way
are.
down?
Yeah.
Is there a trap? Are there traps? Traps?
We'll find when we open it
Anyone
with
that
our
wants to make a
faces.
perception roll, may.
8.
Oh, no. Oh,
No.
gosh.
It looks great.
Fine. I guess I'm walking down
I
the
don't do
stairs.
much better.
This is the downside to level 1, guys.
Descending down the stairs and reaching the bottom, you would find a set of double doors. Getting the all clear from Sitra, I suppose Sagira would hold on to the door and open them up.
Yep.
You would step into a large chamber. I would state large. All of you had probably noticed by this point that everything seems to be mostly mirrored that you've run into, and almost all the rooms seem to be 20-foot square. Just a uniform construction. This room itself is also 20-foot square. Opposite of where you've just stepped in, I imagine you'd pause and immediately heft your weapon as you would see movement before realizing that there's a massive mirror, which stretches across the wall opposite of the door you've just come in,
Ah, interesting.
flanked by 2 statues. The statue off towards your left-hand side depicts a tall, gaunt woman in a flowing hooded gown, holding an hourglass in one hand. The figure on the opposite side is that of a jackal-headed man carrying a scepter and a staff in his hand. A set of stone double doors stands slightly ajar off towards your left. And a second set of stone double doors, also standing slightly ajar, stands off towards your right.
That's interesting.
Torch holders sculpted in the shape of bird skulls are built into each corner. Everything in here is covered in a thin layer of dust and cobwebs.
Well, left or right?
Maybe we should check these statues.
I'd like to look at the mirror.
All right.
See if it's maybe like a double-sided thing. I don't know if it's a
He can watch you from the beyond the grave through the mirror.
So, Sagira, what are you wanting to do?
I guess I'm just gonna, guard.
Go. So go ahead and roll me a perception. Sudi, your...
Inspecting the statues.
which one?
We'll start with the jackal.
Very well. I believe Citra is making her way over towards the mirror on yours.
We figured out, we made checks on those masks, so we know that that's Anubis, and I'm assuming the other one's probably Pharasma.
Yes.
Alright, I guess I'll go check out the statue of Pharasma since Sudi's looking at the one of Anubis.
I mean, Sudi could glance over and immediately determine that's a statue of Pharasma, being that that's his deity.
Yeah.
So like,
not nearly as interesting as little jackal-headed action.
Anubis?
I have no ranks in knowledge religion, so he's Jackal Man.
You know he's Anubis.
Yeah, I identified the mask earlier. It's
true.
Anubis.
That's true.
So glancing over the two statues, the two of you would be able to determine that, yes, they are in fact statues of Anubis and Pharasma. Both of them are taking a position here that you'd say is maybe more of a almost guardian sort of manner, which would probably make both of you a little concerned just considering how often you hear stories of like animated statues and stone golems and things.
And we just fought
tombs.
tiny little baby statues, and now these may be the fully upgraded to kind.
Eyeing them, though, they look to just be finely crafted statues. Sagira, glancing about the room, what did you make on your perception roll?
Sagira gets a 22.
You would note that again, everything in here is covered in a fine layer of dust, including the cobwebs and such, which are mostly not disturbed. The dust, however, is.
Uh-oh.
Making its way from the open door to your left to the open door onto your right. There seem to be tracks before you'd even entered in here. If you have survival, you may make a survival check to identify the tracks.
Is it track? Well, track doesn't...
It is tracking.
Okay. And that's what, half your level?
Yes.
Well, 1.
To a minimum of 1.
I get a 14.
They 14. You can see the tracks. You can see that they're going back and forth, but you can't really identify what they're tracks of. At the very least, they don't look to be people. It just looks like the dust is disturbed. You would also note that the dust is disturbed, but the cobwebs aren't, meaning that whatever it is must be relatively small. Or at the very least, low to the ground. It could be a good size. I mean, alligators are really large, but low to the ground.
I'm going to walk over to one of the doors and close it.
Which one?
The one on the left.
You make your way over and just kind of gently close the door. Sitra, making your way over and peering into the mirror as you begin to approach it, you would push through the cobwebs and see your own shadowy reflection as you step forward, seeing the shadowy reflection of your companions, also cast in here, as I believe all 3 of you are carrying a light source.
I have a torch.
Oh, that's right. You have a torch, and
I think they have...
Onuris has cast light on...
yeah, I have light casted on me somewhere.
Yeah. So, and I think you lit your lantern.
Yes, I have my lantern.
But holding up your lantern, you would actually see 5 reflections, not 4.
Uh-oh.
Good.
As you would stare into the mirror, you would see that there is a man standing behind you. Turning around, you don't see anyone. But looking back into the mirror, you can see the reflection of a human man with bronze skin, maybe in his 40s, wearing white ceremonial robes and a headdress. It looks identical to all the depictions that you've seen of Akhentepi.
Does he look hostile?
Interestingly, the reflected image appears stern and a little disapproving, as does yours. Your reflection doesn't actually reflect your own expression, just a stern and almost disapproving version of your reflection back to you as you make eye contact.
I test it by, waving my hand and...
All the motions follow, but your facial expression remains the same.
Okay. I turn to look at Akhentepi.
Turning around?
No. If I'm looking forward at my reflection, I kind of want to look off to the side at him and maybe say hello.
He doesn't seem to respond. All of you can see her talking to the mirror now.
Who are you talking to?
What's going on?
Do you guys not see it?
Beginning to step a little closer, you can see an additional figure standing behind you as you begin to make your way up.
And all of us see him behind us.
Behind the individual looking. All of you can also see your own reflection staring stern and disapprovingly back towards all of you.
Oh, that's weird.
What does Sitra want to do?
Can you understand me?
There is no response. I will need you to make a fortitude save.
Stop talking to ghosts!
13?
13? You'd feel an odd scratching in your forehead. Reaching up a hand, you seem to be fine.
It's likely he's not going to speak Osiriani or Common.
Are any of the rest of you doing anything?
I'm walking over and closing the other door.
Why are you closing the doors?
There's tracks that lead between them.
You should try talking to him in ancient Osiriani. He will understand that.
That's assuming this isn't just some sort of magic in the mirror.
Who has detect magic?
I'll cast detect magic.
I was like, I can't do it.
Detecting magic, there is a magical aura on this mirror. You'll need 3 rounds to determine it, then you can make a spellcraft check.
Alrighty.
Are any of the rest of you doing anything while you're...
I'm gonna grab Sitra and pull her away from the mirror. Stop looking at the mirror.
I'll watch for the doors to open.
After 3 rounds, you can make a spellcraft check if you wish.
Math. 21.
You can read faint illusion and transmutation auras on this. So obviously this isn't actually like a conjuration, it's not summoning anything. The transmutation aura is odd. It looks like it may be some sort of trap, although you can't exactly determine what kind of trap it is. I will, however, need you to make a fortitude save.
17.
17? No. You may make a perception roll, actually, as you're looking.
24.
24? You would stare at it. Again, you can't necessarily determine exactly what it does, although you would feel an odd scratching on your forehead. As you would stare at your reflection in the mirror, you would notice that something seems to be slowly appearing on your reflection's forehead.
You felt it too. You felt it too.
I think it might be some sort of trap.
You may make a linguistics check if you so wish.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to read the symbol appearing on your forehead. Just saying.
That's up to you.
18.
Do you wish to read the symbol?
Sure.
Oh no.
You would have a great deal of difficulty reading the symbol, and you'd realize then that it's because it's in reverse. Kind of squinting and putting it together, it looks to be the ancient Osiriani glyph for thief, branded into the forehead of your reflection.
That makes sense.
Is it on your real head?
Is it on my real head?
No, it's maybe a little bit red if you've been kind of rubbing at where it itches, but...
It's some sort of trap or deterrent, I imagine. I can't figure out exactly what the magic does.
Oh, you said it itched your head. Maybe it puts the brand on your head, so everyone will know you're a thief.
Then maybe we should not mess with this mirror.
Probably not.
I think we
Smash
should
it.
probably move on.
This is a huge mirror. We can't
It
take
covers the
mirror?
entirety of the 20-foot wall.
Okay, then JK, I can't carry this. We can move on.
Left
I
or
don't know
right?
how we're getting this out of here. But
So left or right?
reduce object, the Tomb Raider's best friend.
Maybe, there's a statue of Pharasma here. Maybe we should make an offering, say, hey, we're here on your temple's permission.
I don't know if you can bribe the Lady of Graves.
Well, I don't mean to bribe, but to appease.
Having no ranks in knowledge religion, I would not know any of those things. I really need to put a rank in knowledge religion.
I am going to take a gold piece out and put two, actually, and put one at the foot of Pharasma and one at the foot of Anubis.
Okay. Do you have any knowledge religion?
Nope. I'm
I
just
suppose-
doing it because I'm a superstitious Osiriani.
Okay, that's fine. I suppose you probably, mouth a few words of kind of I think this is probably a generic sort of prayer thing.
Yeah.
A little slot opens up, it slides in, you hear a ka-chink, and then it starts playing the carnival music.
No.
We aren't
Sounds really
on Ferenginar with the... I can't remember what it's called, their afterlife, where it's all based on gold. Anyway.
Let's go to one of these doors. There's obviously something waiting. It's short, and I don't know what kind of tracks those are.
Should we go through the door where it ended up, or should we go through the door that it came from?
It goes back and forth.
Yeah. You weren't able to
Oh,
determine
back and
which
forth.
way. The door on your left would technically take you to, again, from what you can determine, the entirety of this place has been mirrored. So it would be effectively the mirrored room to where you battled the figurines just a minute ago, just on the opposite side. The door on the right, there was not a door heading that direction when you went downstairs to the chariot room.
Let's do the left first.
Okay.
Heading to the left.
Is it trapped? I closed it. It's fine.
You
Well, it might
reset.
have
Little did you
reset a
know, you
trap,
reset
though.
the trap. Yeah.
Approaching towards the door is closed.
You don't say.
Can I check it for traps really quickly?
Someone's come through and
just to make
closed
sure
these
that she
doors.
didn't reset anything.
Yes, you may check it for traps if you so wish.
I get an 18.
An 18, the door does not appear to be trapped. It looked like something maybe scratched at the bottom of this.
A kitty
Down
cat.
around
I
the...
was also going to say kitty cat.
And something seems to have, worn it down a little bit. You're going to guess that something's been kind of coming and going through here for some time. The dust is not as thick on this door. But no, it looks to be safe to open.
All right, I'm going to open this door.
Opening the door.
Mummy cat.
Mummy cat.
You actually have found some mummified cats. So. This chamber breaks with the mirrored reflection that you've seen thus far. You were honestly probably expecting a short hallway, somewhat like the hallway of mass you saw on the other side. Instead, on the opposite side of this door is a, you'd say maybe 20 feet wide by about 30 foot long chamber. Pillars would line the walls of this rectangular chamber, interspersed with the stone jackal heads extending from the walls. A stone altar covered in a layer of dust sits at the far end of this room.
An altar to who?
From here, you can't exactly determine.
There's jackal masks, probably the Anubis.
Well,
Well, I guess I'm going to step in, look around.
You begin making your way forward. Anyone else wishing to do something?
I
Or...
want to... On yours, we'll go look at the altar.
Okay, Onuris is heading towards the altar.
I'm following Sagira.
Kind of keeping an eye out with Sagira.
Maybe she won't steal more things.
And what are you doing?
I'm going to the altar.
Okay, I want to check out these masks that are lining the wall.
Having already identified Anubis, you'd be able to determine these are masks depicting Anubis. which line the surrounding walls, all an assorted number of jackal-headed masks staring down. Shelves sit nearby. These shelves seem to be covered with an assorted number of tools and implements, left here in an almost ceremonial-like manner. Most of these seem to be maybe some sort of cutting tools, as well as an additional number of jars seemingly filled with salt, which are scattered about the room. In addition to that are what appears to be a shelf containing a number of linen wraps. Making your way forward, I will need a perception roll from the party.
Embalmer's tools.
Yeah, this is where they make the mummies.
Although, it's kind of weird.
Alright, what do we get?
A 10 for Sagira.
24 for Sudi.
22 for Sitra.
And yours gets a 14.
I suppose Onuris would begin making his way up towards the altar. Altar is probably a misstatement. There seem to be a number of religious signs and iconography around the outside of this, but the top of this looks to be just a flat slab, probably for the laying out of a body. You would guess that the more than likely, much as you just stated, this is maybe possibly where they embalmed him before actually burying him. The embalming process takes a great deal of time, so this is probably where they kept his body until it was time to actually inter him in a sarcophagus. Sagira, I imagine, would be kind of keeping an eye on the surrounding walls, and having seen that this room looks to be mostly empty, I imagine keeping an eye on the door that you came from, thinking that, okay, well, maybe whatever it was is on the other side right now. Sudi, as you would step your way forward, you would see what initially you think is possibly a creature, before you'd approach and realize that it actually seems to be the empty carapace of a scarab beetle, although in this one, a scarab beetle closer to the size of a cat.
Wow.
You would notice that there actually seem to be a couple fragments scattered about, as if there were these scarab beetles here and then something seems to have maybe torn them apart or possibly devoured them. As you would turn, glancing back towards the other, Sitra, you would hear something. A kind of scrape as you would look over. Onuris kind of glancing and leaning down, I imagine, to look over the hieroglyphs on the side of the altar as you would see one hairy, albino-like white insectoid leg grab onto the opposite side and see the tiny face begin to stare up and over it as whatever horrid creature that is begins to make its way up towards your now kneeling compatriot.
Oh, great.
You can tell that a second one seems to be rounding the opposite side to circle around behind him as the two creatures begin to close, and I will need initiative from the party.
You're gonna get eaten, you guys.
Oh, music.
I'm not ready.
Sad.
Now, sadly, your viewers at home will not be able to see this, but just for everyone's edification, and sorry, Heather. Horrible, monstrositous things.
Oh, man. Spider.
This is why I couldn't be an adventurer. I'd
It's
be
like
like, I'm out.
I was scared of the cat-sized scarab beetles.
I know. Well, I was like, I mean, the beetles are probably fine. This will probably be fine. Oh,
I've seen the
no,
mummy
these
too
things
often.
are not fine.
Yeah, the mummy kind of ruins scarab beetles.
Those were like magic scarab beetles.
You think that those don't exist somewhere in Osirian?
Well, I
Don't
mean,
they use beetles to clean bones?
yeah, I mean, carrion
in real
beetles
life?
are a thing, but like they're relatively slow. They're not going to like murder you in like 2 seconds.
Okay, well, it's an exaggeration, but it's still terrible.
It's okay. My totally oblivious self is about to get murdered. It's fine.
You're like, oh god, spider! Snack, 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 snack. How did they get down here, and why?
Maybe they were put here to guard the tomb.
I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see if we know anything about them, because if they're magical beasts, we'll have no clue.
Hopefully they're just normal things.
Sagira.
A 7.
Sagira's rolling in with a 7.
You beat me.
Oh god.
Sudi.
3.
Oh,
Wow.
I beat you.
Citra.
6.
6 for
Man, they're
Citra.
not ready.
We're not ready for spiders.
Onuris.
19.
19.
You're ready, but you're not aware.
Alright.
You are closest.
So we get a little surprise attack action going on here. First round of combat that'll actually bring us to these horrid creatures. Both of them would skitter up on top of the altar. Actually, as one would skitter on top of the altar, the other one circles around, getting into a flanking position, bringing us to Sitra. I imagine you're going like Lamping Kopesh right now, so you still got your Kopesh in your hand. Kukri.
Yeah, I will 5-foot step over. Do you still have your dagger?
I'm assuming we all still have our weapons out because we've been attacked
Yeah.
a few times now.
Yeah.
So I will 5-foot step over to get the weird thing in a flank.
Yeah, although you're not currently flanking as at the
haven't
moment
gone
Onuris
yet.
is not aware of the fight, so he's not threatening.
Can I ready in a surprise attack?
Yeah, it's just going to move you into initiative.
But I don't think he noticed them.
Like, you can ready an action as a standard action, and then it will kick in, and then it'll move you in initiative order to when it kicks in. So if you're basically saying, I ready until Onuris goes, then you can do that.
I mean, you did get a really high initiative.
You can also make a knowledge nature if you have it.
Nope. I'm just going to go ahead and try to attack it. Ooh, okay. I get a 22, and that's a threat.
A 22 will strike your target as you step up.
I don't think a 10 will confirm them.
A 10 will not, sadly, confirm.
That's okay. I still do 4 points of damage.
4 points of damage. As you viciously cut into it, sending one of its legs scattering away as you slice deep into the thing. It would hiss, turning and spinning on you, raising its forward pinchers instead of front legs like many spiders have.
Pinchers.
Spider crab.
I may have made a
Spider crab.
serious mistake here.
Sudi.
I'm going to still surprise attack round, so I'm going to charge it.
It's only within 5 feet, so you can't.
Oh, that's true.
At least 10 feet away.
That's true. I can take
You
5
just
foot step.
5 foot.
I'm going to take a 5 foot step and hit it.
Oh, you would step up, you kick down at the thing.
With a 13.
13 will not hit it as it skitters back out of the way,
Unfortunate.
It's like a natural armor.
balancing on its 5 remaining legs and hefting its claws back towards you.
Ew.
That'll bring us to round 1 of combat. Onuris.
Okay, I noticed the creepy things trying
There's
to murder
a
me.
horrible monstrosities up on the altar and behind you.
I'll swing at
if
the-
you have knowledge nature, you may roll it.
Oh my.
I will... Why am I British? Okay. I will swing at the one that Sitra already hurt with a 15.
With a 15, will strike your flanked target.
Where's my D8? There it is. Onuris does 5 points of damage.
Viciously cutting down and into it, you would crack into its carapace, but it would continue to skitter.
I think I'll stay where I am.
You know, hold your ground there. That would bring us to the beasties.
Oh no.
The first one in that flanked position, he's going to skitter to the side, but still go ahead and attack at Onuris. Lunges ahead with his claws. Now that perfect 20 is going to automatically hit. Threat. Natural 1 will not confirm.
Yay!
Within that spectrum.
I don't want to die.
No one wants you
It
to.
claws you for 4 points of damage, though.
Ouch.
Its second claw, maybe with a 19.
Oh yeah, that'll hit me.
Yep. Claw digs in, striking you for 2 points of damage. It then bites at you with a 13.
That misses.
It then rends, digging in with both of its claws and ripping
It
sideways for
didn't hit me
another.
with both claws, did it?
It hit you with both claws
Oh.
and missed with its bite.
It didn't confirm the critical. That's
This is why you don't fight spiders.
spider crabs.
Spider crabs. It then rips into you for another 2 points of damage as it begins ripping into you.
I'm at 1 hit point, guys.
I
The
know what
other
you're
one
doing.
attacks.
Oh no.
You can't have our cleric.
It might. 18.
Yep.
That will hit as it hits you with a claw. It rips into you for 2 points of damage.
This made -1.
Ripping into you as the other one tears into you as they basically begin to claw viciously, dropping you to the ground.
You have the honor of being the first one in the negatives.
It leaps off of the table, now that you're no longer a threat, and then continues its attacks against... Let's go with Sitra.
Ew. Oh no.
Clawing at you with a 14, and
No.
biting at you with a 17.
The second one will hit.
Its bite chomps a hold of you, dealing 3 points of damage. You would wait for that uncomfortable stinging sensation, but you don't feel anything. You don't think that these things are venomous.
Okay.
Bring us to Sagira, who I suppose would immediately spin around and go, oh god.
I know nature, so let's see if I know what these are.
You may roll knowledge nature.
God, I can't roll. I get a 12.
At 12, you can at the very least identify these things.
Okay.
God, I'm not good at suli fugids.
What?
What?
Suli fugids. You know what? They're called camel spiders.
Camel spiders. Okay, it's terrifying.
Sometimes they're referred to as wind scorpions or sun spiders, despite the fact that they are neither spiders nor scorpions. They're actually their own unique species.
Oh.
They basically grab a hold of their prey with their bite to feed with twin sets of vertically aligned mandibles. When hunting in groups, they prefer to attack targets already grappled by other sulipods and then tear them apart.
Huh. Well, that's terrible. I guess I'm going to move forward to the closest sulipod and take a two-handed grip on my Kopesh and smash down at it.
Yeah, their front claws are actually a little bit more like a praying mantis. But anyway.
I keep rolling terribly, though, so I only get a 15.
A 15 will strike your target, though.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. That's good. And I do 10 points of damage.
You would splatter the already injured one, sending chunks of suli filidas everywhere. Camel spider. From Sagira, we go to Sitra.
I'll attack the one that is on the altar at the moment.
It's on the ground. If you
Is it on
want
the ground? I thought...
No, it's still on the
sitting
altar.
on the table.
I thought it hopped off the table.
No, it did hop off the table.
Oh, okay. So it's in front of me, or it's...
Yes.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, there was a thing in the way there, so I don't know.
Okay. Oh,
I couldn't
crap,
see.
I can't really get into a flank there.
You can take a 5-foot step.
There's a
Oh, there's a
pillar.
column.
There's a pillar there, yeah. It's fine. I'll just swing down at it with my kukri.
The monk could stand over the
Ugh.
cleric.
But I do not think an 11 will hit.
An 11 will not hit. To be fair, it just clawed into you, so I imagine, blood is splattered across the floor and you're just trying to keep your feet and get back. Also, Onuris has a lot of blood.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
you need
a lot
that.
less now than you did.
You need
but,
that to live.
it kind of helps. Sudi.
I'm going to take... Well, I guess you're unconscious now, so I'm going to gingerly step into your square.
Very well. You hop forward, protectively crouched over your compatriot. Your tail smacking him in the face.
So that's what you need when you're dying. A cat tail.
That's exactly what a
Face.
cat would want to do to you.
And I flurry of blows.
Very well.
12.
Is that with the flank?
14.
14 will strike your target.
Hey!
You're welcome.
Yes, for 8 points of damage.
8 viciously kicking into the side of this thing. It is still going.
That's only a 12, so
Is that with the flank?
that's with the flank.
Okay, that will not hit, though.
Sad. I was going to be like all heroic and stuff, but oh well.
You're still...
Still got a good hit off of it.
You're still crouched over Onuris, protecting him. Bring us to Onuris. I'm going to need you to make a stabilization check.
I still want to roll percentile, like it's 3.5 land.
No, it's a
what am I
D20
doing?
plus your Constitution modifier
You're trying to hit 10.
minus how many hit points you're below 0.
Okay, so my Constitution modifier is a 1, and I'm
Correct.
at -1.
So just
So it's
whatever you
you
roll.
need to roll D20 and get a 10 or higher.
It's kinked. That's also kinked. Good lord. I get a 15. I'm not dying
15.
anymore.
Yep, you're stabilized. You're just
Yay.
You look
down
stable.
and
We keep
unconscious.
fighting.
From there, we go to the camel spider. You know what? Sudi just kicked the crap out of it, so it's going to full out attack. It's going to be a pile of bodies in that one square.
Let's hope not.
Dodge and weave.
Maybe.
Dodge and weave.
18.
Yes.
So hits with the claw. Ooh. Hits for a painful 4 points of damage.
Ow.
Second claw comes in with a 12, and then the
No.
bite comes in with a 11.
No.
So you would manage to duck and weave around the other two, but the claw still catches you across the thigh.
Felt like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Sagira.
I'm going to step forward to join the party here with the spider, and I'm going to slash down at it, still two-handed. I get a 20.
A 20 will strike the camel spider.
I do 7 points of damage.
That would splatter as you would chop down viciously into it, sending guts flying in every which way. I suppose all of you look down at the cleric and go,
I have a potion of Cure Light Wounds.
I was like, man,
Who's
I hope
gonna help
some
the
of it-
clan?
somebody
Two
does.
in the med kit.
Oh, then we use the medkit stuff.
Yeah, we'll use the one in one of the two in the med kit. So I rush over to you, tilt your head back, and shove it down your throat.
Does she need to roll? Or do I need to roll?
technically, yeah, we'll go ahead and
Whoever has the better dice luck.
I'm gonna roll.
Go ahead.
Dang it, never brag.
You get 4 back.
At least you're alive.
Yay, I'm alive.
Experience?
You coughingly come back to consciousness.
You now have arachnophobia.
Yes.
Or camel
You've gained
spider
1 insanity point. You garner experience for defeating 2 challenge ratings of 1, netting the party 100 experience points apiece, 200 experience total.
Thank you.
Halfway to level 2.
Is anybody else hurt? You're hurt and you're hurt.
I'm
Yeah,
a
I'm
little
half
hurt.
down.
I'm not really hurt. I'm kind of hurt, but not from this fight.
I channel. Everybody gets back 5.
Sweet.
Call out to Horse, raising your holy symbol.
My holy symbol's on my face.
Oh,
Holy
that's right.
symbol.
Raising
You
your
just
face.
eyeball them,
You
your face out.
You give him the side eye.
Yeah, mean mugging them.
I like to think it just kind of flashes and glows. And
You're
then
holy
we're
mugging
done.
them. Holy mugging.
Holy mugging.
Don't mug me with your holy face.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
Let's search this room, shall we?
Yes.
Continuing your, honestly, other than the stuff that I addressed previously, even the assorted tools in here don't seem to be of an exceptional quality or make above and beyond normal. So,
Well, that's disappointing.
well, you're going to guess that a lot of these seem to have been probably left in here as like a kind of a ceremonial thing, really more than these were the actual tools that the professionals were using.
All right, then let's go back to the mirror room and everybody just hold up your
Yes.
hands so
Yeah,
you don't
exactly.
like
Don't
look
look.
in the mirror.
Blinders on.
Yeah, and we'll go across the hall.
Making your way back and across the hall.
Can we tell if these were the things that were making the tracks through the dirt?
I mean, they're low enough to the ground, feasibly.
Yeah.
Although there may be, if they're eating down here, there may be more beetles down here somewhere.
Yes, but maybe not.
Dire Scarab beetles.
I guess I'm going to open the door.
Technically, with those carapaces, you could have also made a knowledge nature on those.
Oh, yeah, I guess I should do that. I don't know anything about them, and I get a 9.
A 9? I mean, they're bugs. These are really big ones, but they're not really ones that you're used to. They might be some sort of subterranean beetle.
All right, to the other door. Sagira takes point. Sagira opens the door.
I check it for traps before she does so.
Oh, I closed it. I just assumed there weren't traps. It's a bad assumption.
So,
I get a 24 to check for traps.
the 24, the door looks clear.
Sweet.
Suppose you'd give the nod to your compatriot.
All right, I'm going to push this door open.
Pushing open the door, you would find beyond the door are a flight of steps, gradually descending down. About halfway down the stairs, small holes and burrowed tunnels riddle what remains of the passage's wall on the left-hand side.
Oh, that's how the beetles got in.
Earth and sand have spilled over the collapsed masonry, covering the stairs with dirt and rubble. A stone set of double doors engraved with a golden scarab, its wings open beneath a golden sun, stand at the far end of the stairway. One of those doors is slightly ajar.
All right, carrying on. This is probably where the beetles came from. There's probably more terrible things past this door.
We carry on.
As you would push your way forward, I will need a perception roll from the party.
That's better.
13.
25.
It's not a trap, is it?
That is not a trap.
Okay, then I got a 22.
Apparently it's just going to be Onuris' job to be oblivious. I get an 8.
I mean, you noticed the buggy bug.
Much as was previously the case, Sagira, you would make your way forward. Your compatriots following along behind you. Onuris, I imagine, would be somewhat concerned with his tattered remnants of his clothes and the sticky blood clinging everything to him at this point.
It's awesome.
It was a rough fight for you. Our two perceptive members, though, in the form of Sagira and Sitra.
Sudi, not me.
Oh, sorry. Sudi and Sitra. It's all these S's. Sudi and Sitra. As you begin to get most of the way down through, you would notice that the sand scatters across the entirety of this floor. Strangely, there's sand that is slightly off in color. This forms an almost like zigzagging shape. You would basically notice this as you begin to approach, and about the same point that Sagira would reach the sand and begin to make her way across to get down to the door on the opposite side of the stairs. As you would step, the two of you would basically be able to see the sand shift beneath her feet before it rears up, forming into some sort of serpentine snake or some long, sinuous creature made of sand and rock that would rear up as its mouth full of rocky teeth basically opens up and it stares down. I will need everyone to roll for initiative,
Okay, then.
but I think we'll pick this up next time.